Your life is spinning out of control. Seems the whole world is out to get you. Everything is wrong, nothing seems right. There's a sinking feeling inside. Even your best friend has turned his back. But you can't let it bring you down. No, you've got to fight. 'Cause you try, but you can't let go. It's when you're down that you gotta get up. Don't let them walk all over your face. Stand up for yourself and make everything right again. Even if some guy's trying to blackmail you and your girlfriend thinks you suck, it's up to you to let them know that it was all just part of some rich guy's evil plan. Look out ahead, there's a truck changing lanes. You've got some yellow crumbs on your upper lip, and those warts on your dick aren't gonna go away unless you start using topical cream every day.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day you've chosen to join us here. Thank you very much for tuning in to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch with Adam and Braden. I'm Adam.
And I'm Braden.
And this week we're talking basketball.
Not basketball, not Space Jam.
No, not any of the sports Michael Jordan has actually played.
It's basketball.
Basketball. Hopefully you can get through the entire thing actually saying basketball and not this time be like baseball, basketball.
No, it'll just be like golf.
Tennis. Yeah. So, dude.
Wow. Really know how to cut to the core of me, Baxter.
Yeah, all right, let's get into this, Braden. Basketball, what do you remember about this one when it first came out? Anything?
I think probably the most memorable line is probably going to be the "got milk," because everyone says that. Everyone says that.
That's
it's
true.
just people use that all the time. Just I don't know if they want to know if you got milk. There's like "got milk." It's just a memorable quote.
That's true. That's
probably that and probably some of the psych outs. I think it's probably the psych outs that are the most memorable thing altogether.
See, I remember the first time I saw this, I was actually on an exchange trip to France and Quebec, Canada, where everybody spoke French. So I saw this film in French.
Wow.
Not being fluent in French either. So I'm watching a film where I cannot understand what anybody is saying and still laughing my dick off because there were just, like you say, there's just stupid moments in it. Then when I got home, the first thing I did within the first week I was home was go to the video store to get Basketball to watch it in English, and it did not let me down. I think the scene that sticks out to me the most is when they do the Unsolved Mysteries part, but they cut to Rima making out with that chick in the car, and he's like, I don't know, maybe he's hanging in the closet by his fucking neck. And then the host is like...
Scenario number one, he's hanging by his neck in his fucking closet.
This movie is just so good.
It is. I want to go and watch this in French now.
Oh, man.
That sounds amazing.
Give it a go. It's pretty cool. The song on the radio, all I remember was that song on the radio comes on and the guy I was staying with was crying his eyes out at that scene. And I was like, this movie, if I can understand the language, must be amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It did not disappoint. Disappointed the critics, but it did not disappoint me, and it still does not disappoint me.
Nah. No.
So what do you reckon, Braden? Should we get into the quick recap of this one?
Let's kick it off.
All right. David Zucker directs this slapstick sports comedy starring the South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Competing 2-on-2 against some basketball jocks, goofballs Joe Cooper, played by Trey Parker, and Doug Reamer, played by Matt Stone, attempt to win a very, very one-sided game of horse otherwise against, as we say, the two docs. They do this by devising a new game with baseball rules. We can go through the rules again, Power, if you need to slow down.
No, I'm good.
All right. Thus is born the bizarre game of basketball. The rules are this. Court positions are decided as to whether a basket counts as a single, a home run, or a double, a triple, whatever the case may be. The opposing team can retrieve missed shots And of course, psych outs are allowed. Psych outs can be verbal abuse or pretty much any kind of gross out gag that will throw your opposition off their shot. The game becomes so popular in driveways that eventually a major league is set up, and sports promoter Ted Denslow now owns the Bears, which of course is the home team for Cooper, Rima, and their third friend, the little bitch.
Not a little bitch. Yeah, but you're a piece of shit.
Swear to God, you guys ragging me like 13, 14 more times. I'm out of here. This problem comes when Denslow dies and the Dallas Felons owner, Baxter Kane, played by Robert Vaughn, hopes to increase revenues by doing things that are outlawed by the league, such as product placement and pro endorsements, and allowing players to switch teams. But he needs the okay of all the team owners, and, sadly, Ted Denslow has left the team to Joe Cooper. Pretty straightforward, right? You would think
Yeah.
so. However, Denslow's ex, Yvette, played by Jenny McCarthy, is laying carpet and buffing hallways for Baxter Kane.
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. In an attempt to win the team in the long run. However, this is thwarted when the Bears do in fact win the final and the Denslow Cup. And thankfully, the little boy from the Make-A-Wish Foundation gets his wish that Cooper will stay on the team forever because obviously trades are not enforced. Cameos by Bob Costas and Al Michaels as the commentary team throughout this game. And yeah, that's pretty much the long and the short of basketball.
Yep.
So, Bray, what'd you think?
I love this movie. I can't remember the first time I seen it. It certainly wasn't in French. But yeah, I've probably seen this movie like 13 or 14 times.
Yeah.
Um,
Just lying in your cardboard box.
yeah. But at least they want me on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember hearing that it was by the guys who made South Park, and I was like, fucking sweet. And yeah, it was a huge movie for us sort of back when this came out because it was funny. There's a lot of one-liners, a lot of quotes that we used to use quite frequently, and even in high school and that, and lunchtime and that, we might just. I mean, I wasn't a sports guy at all. I didn't play sports or anything, but we were bored. I'd have a basketball. We'd play basketball because we just like being dickheads.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
So yeah, exactly. So it wasn't really just a movie for me, I guess, because yeah, heaps more came along with it.
Yep. I actually, watching it back this time, I realized there's a line from this that I say nearly every day that I did not realize. It's right at the start where they're going on about how all the trades are happening and this team moved from LA and back again and nobody noticed and all that. And they cut to the dude who's just been signed, like the football player. He's like reaming off all the cities that he's been in.
And after playing for New England, San Diego, Houston, St. Louis, a year for the Toronto Argonauts, plus 1 season as a greeter at the Desert Inn, I'm happy to finally play here in the fine city of Miami.
Minnesota.
Whatever. Shit.
Shit. It's that shit. I heard it, I'm just like, oh man, that's where I got that from. Shit. Oh, jeez. So yeah, so the film starts with that little montage explaining that sports suck these days because you can trade and it's more about the grandstanding after the win with the amazing Irish dancing. And we cut from there to see that obviously a young Cooper caught the baseball, Reggie Jackson's baseball.
Yeah, the third home run.
Third home run. He found the other two, but some other little shit got away.
Don't have your fucking ball!
He catches the ball and then says, Rima, someday I'm going to become a big sports car. And a sports star, I should say. And then we smash cut to 10 years later where Coop is peeing in the garden outside a party hosted by one of their high school classmates.
With the most perfect stream ever.
And he turns to Rima and says, Rima, some days I'm going to own a big sports bar. Yeah, I love the fact that he's got that box of beer that he just walks around with all night. Just nursing his box of beer.
And I love how when they got there, because what was it? Koopy's going, oh, why are we here? We don't want to be at a party with all our old high school dickheads or whatever. And he's
it's
like,
Brittany Kaiser's house, and I really want to fuck her.
I really, really want to fuck her. And her dad's standing right there
at the door. Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi, Mr. Kaiser. Beer?
I like how he always says cock, too. He's
in the middle of a sentence, yeah.
Yeah.
Brittany, you graduated? Of course we graduated, cock. Beer?
I also loved...
Hey, Skidmark Steve! Hey, dude. Oh, cool. You still just hanging out playing Nintendo?
Well, if you must know, I'm in my second year of med school, and I'm training for the summer games. What are you two up to?
Just hanging out, playing Nintendo, cock.
Yeah, I say that all the time as well.
Me too. That's one I do as well. Yeah, as you say, this movie is one of the more quotable ones I think we've done.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, bored at the party where they're just being shunned, they wander outside and find a basketball, and because these two are just the best basketball shots of all time, as long as they don't have to like dribble or move or pass or do any of that fancy shit,
yeah,
they pretty much dominate. And this leads to the challenge from, as we mentioned in the recap, the two jock dickheads, who one of whom is Brittany Kaiser's boyfriend. Leading them to challenge them, which when they see that these guys are basically pro athletes, they have to come up with something, which is where they invent basketball. Which leads
you mean like horse?
This guy, horse.
Horse. We learned it in the hood.
Yeah, not cool with our street games. I do love the psych out here. I admitted it just before so we can get there, but I love that they bust into Brittany's mum's room and Reem is licking her vibrator, and then it cuts to the final psych out where he's like, "Oh, one of Brittany's mum's pubic hairs." Dude, that was a sweet psych out. Oh, there's another one. So yeah, but in the end, it's still the jocks that get the girls. So Coop and Rima can't understand this. And so they head home to continue playing basketball.
Oh, yeah. They're like, yeah, it's because we don't have jobs. That's it. Tomorrow we're going to go get jobs. And the next shot, it's just, what does it say? Like a month later or something like that?
Yeah.
And they're just in the fucking
driveway,
just throwing the basketball.
Baseball. Golf?
Baseball. Golf.
Tennis.
Hockey.
And that's the first time we meet Kenny Squeak Little Bitch Scolari, who turns up to shut off their gas because it's overdue and has to contend with the dog.
Yeah, I love how he's very sort of, what does he say? He's
Are you Joe Cooper?
Cut the crap, Squeak. You know who I am.
Gentlemen, this form authorizes me to enter onto your property and terminate services forthwith until all delinquent payments have been generated.
What? Dude, he's here to shut off the gas. Wait, dude, you work for the gas company now?
I know, he's sort of like a by-the-book kind of guy. He's obviously got a script that he needs to follow for his job or whatever. It's like, he sends him out the back saying that the dog's getting his nails cut off or something.
Dog's getting its claws removed. That's
right,
why the gag still works, because they're like, oh, it's the cat we sent in today.
And he goes, thrown over the fence. And they're like, oh, it's cool, just take a shot.
Don't want to take a fucking shot. Want a shot of your gas.
And he's like, yeah, if you get the shot, we'll let you turn off the gas and we'll stop calling you Squeak.
And little bitch.
And little bitch.
And then he
takes a shot, gets psyched out by Steve Perry.
I thought we said no more Journey psych outs. So and then we cut from there to 6 months later, where after a big hit in the driveways and an underground minor league, Ted Denslow shows up because basketball has the opportunity to be basketball, and I'm being turned into you, Braden, basketball and golf and baseball and all these sports have become, baseball still innocent and pure. So they sign up and we set underway with the real plot of this movie, which is the Bears need to win the Denslow Cup.
Yeah.
And so we start then, as we say, 6 months later, the film really picks up at the first of the I think it's Denslow Cup 5, isn't it, that we started?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's the Felons versus the Bears, and Ted Denslow chokes on a hot dog, and...
He missed! I don't believe it. The Felons win their second consecutive Denslow Cup on the strength of a Dirk Jansen psych-out.
I love the commentators in this film. I think they're fantastic at moments like that. I love the part here where Denslow's dead and like Rima makes him do the happy dance before he even remembers that Denslow's dead. And then when they cut to the winning locker room,
Dirk Jansen, winner of the Winners Morn Douche MVP trophy. What's your take on this stunning upset?
I think the whole key to the game was when I psyched out Coop, no doubt about it.
And all you people
I can't believe this guy. He didn't psych me out. Yeah, if anyone should get the psych out, it should be Denslow. Dude, weak.
and then the interview where he's like, I don't really need to be alone right now. The guy just walks away from him.
He's like, okay, bye.
Joseph R. Cooper sure is in a shit sandwich.
And Squeak comes up. He's like, hey, do you want to interview me? He's like,
No. Yeah, I love Rima's one as well of, it took a real team effort to lose this game. We had to work together. And, so because now Ted Denslow is dead, we have to go to Denslow's funeral. But before we get there, we meet Jenna Reed, who is the head of the Children's Dream Come True Foundation, who wants Coop to sign some balls for the kids. And so, I don't mind that character. I think it's very cliche, but it kind of works in this film.
Yeah, it works. Definitely works. And because it sort of brings, what's the little boy's name? Joey. Brings him in as well, and he was a good character
Joey's
too.
amazing.
So
when we get to Joey, I have to tell you, there's a part in the first film I ever made. I shamelessly ripped off a storyline in Baseketball. I'll get there soon.
It also sort of worked as well with her character because of the whole with Rima sort of trying to hit on her as well. It was just fucking stupid funny.
I made you a poppy seed muffin. So they go to the funeral and we find out that Jenna Reed has been given life passes or some shit for the season passes for the kids, and that Coop now owns the team, which Baxter Kane says is just a minor inconvenience for the moment, and begins to show some fun towards a vet, saying that perhaps she should come to his place to lay some carpet, if you know what I mean. I do love that recurring gag of the if you know what I mean, and it's never...
Nah,
never
absolutely.
What it means.
And I never noticed this before this time, but when it cut to the scene of her actually laying the carpet, and she goes, okay, this room's done.
And it's a big-ass roll of...
Yeah, there's just a big roll still sitting there, and she's done like 2 meters.
Yep.
Yeah, this room's done.
Those corners are tricky.
Fuck no. And then the lobby, and she's like, "No, fuck this shit.
I can't do this shit." So the problem though comes in for the team when Baxter Kane realizes that when he can't buy Coop, he instead starts working on Rima. And I love when he's trying to brings Rima to his his office, and he's got the trophy room, fucks up his Ty Cobb bat. There's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a just glass case. There's Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I like the way he's able to just sway. Rima never knows what the fuck he's talking about, and he's only able to sway him by basically explaining to him that, he's like, do you have $1 million, Coop? Do you have $1 million, Rima? No. You could.
No, he said, can you break a 20?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, can you break a 20? No,
dollars?
That's what I thought. I like the sort of the other recurring gag is that he's so fucking stupid. He's got no idea what he's talking about all the time. He's like, did I just fart? Because he can't fucking work it out. What was it he was trying to tell him at that point? I can't remember.
He's talking about, do you think Shaq made money in playing basketball? Do you think he made money off of all his sponsorship deals?
Yeah, that's right.
And Rima's just not knowing what the hell he's talking about.
And yeah, he's getting frustrated. He's like, He's like, what? Did I just fart?
Because they've been working for Chicken Poo? Chicken Feed.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, the fact that Coop won't sell the team and won't allow trades and won't be unanimous, if Baxter Kane wants unanimous decision, he's going to have to get it from the other owners. This causes quite the rift between the Beers and Coop. And so Coop finally budges and says, fine, let's make a beers clothing line, which Rima seems to become the head of.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how that happens.
And Rima's, I think it's meant to be because Coop doesn't want any part of it, so Rima's the only one who is doing it.
Yeah. And he's the only one sort of getting a cut of it or something.
Yeah.
He seems to make a fuckload of money for it, though.
I love all the ridiculousness of it. Like, he's got his big-ass pile of mail. He's got his runner so he doesn't have to run around the bases. He's got his light-up jacket and his, fucking hair. And he's got his Victoria Silstead Playmate of the Year. Fuck! That one I also use a lot, too, yeah. Yeah, well, you can go back to your hot tubs and your Victoria Silstead Playmate of the Year.
Your big house and your beautiful women and your sports cars. Fuck!
I love True. The Coop has a pre-commitment ring for Jenna, and Rima has a pre-commitment ring that's all about how we'll consider committing one day. We'll considering committing.
Yeah, we'll consider getting engaged once we've considered committing.
Yeah, but you were just in a hot tub with Victoria Silstead. But the problem there comes in when Kane comes into the locker room at that point to inform them both that he has photos proving that the Beers clothing line has been made by child labor.
Yeah, in a sweatshop.
And this kind of causes Jenna to obviously be very upset and taken aback momentarily at the fact that these guys both have gigantic dicks.
I mean, egos.
And so, so Coop takes off to Calcutta where the...
Well, one can assume he took off to Calcutta. No one actually knows, even though he only left with 3 things. His wallet, a bag, and a plane ticket to Calcutta, but no one knows where he is.
I should mention as well, before this point, where actually I'm one step ahead of where I should be. Coop makes a deal to basically be Joey's surrogate big brother, as it were. And so he agrees to let Joey spend 1 day with the Beers before his big liver operation. And they take him to a bar and have him drink him with Jerry. Now, this is the part that I stole off for my first film, which is we had a guy... The whole film was based around this... It was a fake behind the music for a band that never existed. But the lead singer was meant to have died, so we had it be the way he died was that I can't remember what we put him in hospital for, but he was in hospital and his bandmates broke him out and took him on the piss, and he died of liver failure the next day, but nobody knows why. So I kind of ripped off this part with my mom was always going back to Joey and the fact when he gets wheeled into the hospital, they're like, "He smells like Robert Downey Jr." But yeah, I like that scene at the bar. I like the fact the bartender's just letting Joey drink. But I also love...
It's just a kid. Who cares?
I love that, they're so pissed and then, Joey's like, "Could you score a home run for me? It's Joe Cooper. He could score 2 home runs." Really? Hell, he could score 3. And then, Coop's just like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And he cuts, you just see him smashing the bar and fucking Rima's head.
And Squeak fucking sees that tranny. And was he saying to Reem, like, "Oh, she's so beautiful." He's like,
"That's a dude.
That's a man."
That's a dude. No, they're beautiful.
You're just saying that because you want it for yourself.
No, I'm saying that because that's a guy.
She's got the sweetest little lips and the sweetest cheeks and the sweetest Adam's apple.
Anyway, back to Coop in Calcutta. So Coop goes missing, and that's where we get the unsolved mysteries of whether or not Coop's hanging by his neck by his fucking neck in a closet, or what are the other ones that they come up with?
What was scenario 2 was something about going to when he asks Jenna where she thinks he is, and she says something along the lines where kids are being
that's right,
extorted or something.
Scenario number 2. Coop went to Disney World. And I love when they do this is what Coop looked like when he left 10 days ago, and here's an artist rendition of what he looks like now. Mr.
Fucking Mr. T. Oh shit! I love how when they cut back to that later on, And they're talking about how they found him and how he's gone to the sweatshop and turned it all around, and he's got adults working for a proper wage and getting healthcare and daycare and all that sort of stuff for their kids. And then he's like,
if I were a woman, I'd sure like to be his girlfriend. Walking in the park hand in hand, wrapping my legs around him, cuddling in the spoon position, our hearts beating in unison, staring into his eyes over our morning coffee. Yes, yes, thank you.
So, Coop manages to replace all the child workers in the factory with adults and also gives them healthcare and dental and...
childcare, in-house childcare, I believe it was.
Yes, it was. And makes it back just in time for the 5th annual Denslow Cup. So it was the 4th Denslow Cup at the start of the show. This is the 5th one. And the Beers start abysmally and making it only a 1 run in the 6 innings before the halftime show.
Yeah, well, Coop was jet-lagged.
That's true. And so... I'm even worse. At the 7th inning stretch, that's where the Beers are now down 16-0 as Coop and Rima continue to blame each other for what's going on. But when they end up on the Kamau board of trust, it all falls apart and Coop and Rima start beating the shit out of each other until Squeak gives the following pep talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention now to the Malaka Laka Balance Board of Trust, symbol of brotherhood in many Polynesian countries. Assuming the roles of the downtrodden but happy natives with their good luck pineapple, your Milwaukee Beers.
Thanks for flying back, Coop. You really made a big difference in the score.
Dude, if I wouldn't been cleaning up your mess, I wouldn't be jet-lagged and shitting curry.
Hey, guys, let's knock it off, all right?
And representing their white colonial oppressors, the Dallas Felons. And now, let's all join our Caribbean brothers in the ceremonial South Sea handshake above the Laguna Peace.
All right, let go.
You let go.
Stop it. Stop it.
Guys, come on, man. Just stop it.
Money grubber, powermonger, cock.
Guys, stop it. Whoa! Hey!
You asshole!
Oh! Die! Eat shit! Hey! Would you just stop it? Will you just hold on a minute? Look at you guys! Fighting on the Malaka Laka board. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Back in the driveway, we were nothing. And now we've risen to the highest level. You're throwing it all away. If you've forgotten what basketball means to America, you have only to look at this board. The Malaka Laka Balance Board of Trust. Don't you see what we have here? A game where guys with bad backs and bad knees can get together and compete on the same field as guys that are all goosed up on steroids. But more than anything, isn't this game about getting together with your friends and just having a good time? I remember a long time ago, I didn't have anybody. And you guys took me in. I guess that's why it kills me to see you like this. If we can't be friends, then the heart and soul are out of this game. Certainly out of me. And I know I'll never get that back again. God, we have sullied the waters of the Laguna Peace. And I'm begging you, for the love of our Caribbean brothers, dudes, stop this madness!
Never let go!
Bob, this has to be the most spectacular extravaganza I have ever seen.
You can cram 3 seats into the space it takes for 1 wheelchair. Not to mention the wasted space it takes for the oxygen valve. Hell, those little shits never pay full price anyway.
Baxter, I just realized I can't stand you. You can kiss these puppies goodbye.
Oh. Shit, Coop, I'm sorry. I guess the money did go to my head. No, I'm sorry, Rima. I think I've got a lot to learn about sharing. Look at me, I've become everything I used to hate. And maybe we just screw up too fast. Our worst enemy turned out to be me. Dude.
Hey, look, I've got two over!
All right. Let's go win ourselves a championship.
Yeah!
So yeah, I like how they make up just by making out as well.
that firefighter dude.
Again,
just
comes up in the
sticks his head
bag.
up, he's like, huh.
And just drops straight back down. And the squeak getting just flown off the board is amazing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he lands in the fireworks, doesn't he?
Yep, lands in he knocks over the guy who's smoking in the fireworks and sets the fireworks off.
And that's the same time where Egret looks at what's his name,
Baxter.
And he's like, you know what? I don't like you. You're an asshole.
Say goodbye to these.
Say goodbye to these puppies.
That's we failed to mention. That's right after she's sucked the chrome off of one of his tow bars.
Do you want me to start on this one?
Oh Jesus.
Wow.
So Coop, Rima, and Squeak finally get their heads back into the game. And at the bottom of the ninth, with Rima on second and Squeak on third, the scores are starting to level when Coop's custom-made basketball from the start, Lazy Boy, pops. And Braden, how's Coop going to go? I love the fact he's wandering around, like, testing the weight of all the other balls. Like, no. But, of course, Joey comes to the rescue with his personally made Barker Lounger ball.
Good guy, Joey.
When Coop misses the shot, but it successfully turns around the conversion with a behind-the-head shot, which is considered a home run, the Beers take the win and the Denslow Cup, and Coop officially owns the Beers for life. Coop and Jenna reunite while Rima, wondering what he's going to do, hooks up with a vet, and Squeak gets carried around on the Denslow Cup until he's leveled by the basketball hoop.
And he gets his man lady too.
And after the credits roll, Bob Costas and Al Marcos repeat the dude argument, and this is what happens.
Dude.
All right, Braden, well, I say we throw to a quick ad here, and when we come back, we'll get into the proper full dissection of this thing.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut this crap. Hey guys, it's T-Bear here and it's happened. Finally, the Bear Cave is live. You will get to hear me, uncensored, unvetted, saying exactly what I damn well please. We'll talk about the media, we'll talk about world politics, sports entertainment, professional fighting. In fact, we'll speak about whatever I damn well please. Find me on social media at TBearBoa. Or hunt for the stream of the podcast at The Bear Cave.
All right, Braden, ready for a quick stat before we get into everything?
Yeah, what's that?
The word dude is said 98 times in this movie.
Dude.
You got a point there.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple of scenes that weren't in the recap there that I enjoyed. I love the part where it all comes down to Squeak in that game. And he's everything Rima's telling him, the commentators are just, don't worry, it's a team effort. And it all comes down to the shoulders of one man. Don't worry, dude, Squeak. You can do that. Unfortunately, that one man is Squeak Scolari. I love that. The character of Squeak is so amazing, yet here's another fun fact for you. That character's not in the original script.
No, not at all.
Originally, it was just a film that was the two characters of Cooper and Rima, but Dion Barker, the guy who plays Squeak, is a friend of Trey Parker's and Matt Stone's from film school. He's been in a lot of their early projects. He's been pretty much in all their projects, from what I understand. They actually suggested that you need this character in there, and so he's in there. There's a version of this film that's never been released where Trey Parker and Matt Stone actually cut their own version of it.
Yeah,
And
right.
apparently it's longer with a lot of different jokes and shit in it because they clashed quite a bit with Zucker Abrams Zucker in the making of this one.
Yeah.
I've noticed. I've just realised this. We are on quite the tear for Zucker Abrams Zucker on this podcast with Naked Gun, Airplane, and this.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, what about you? What do you think are the key highlights of this film for you?
Key highlights, I'd definitely have to say some of the psych outs.
Yep.
Being some of the memorable ones where, obviously the Got Milk is probably one of the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
The one where he goes and cuts his middle finger off with the... This is good.
I like the one where Rima can't psych that guy out and hits him with a plank.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Oh, it's what? That wasn't a gay joke. That was an Australian joke.
Vagina.
Vagina.
I also like the horse whisperer one where he puts him to sleep with the horse whisperer. That one's really clever.
And the one where Rima's got his t-shirt. I think this is in the Denslow Cup final.
Yep.
Yeah, the t-shirt, and he opens it up and he's like,
That's my
wife. Yeah, and this is me.
Hey, Braden.
Yeah.
I hear your sister's going out with Squeak!
Oh. Wait, why is that bad?
Wait, no, you just got to say fucked up things to throw him off. Oh. Wait, why is it fucked up that I'm going out with his sister?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's probably the most memorable parts for me, is probably some of the psych outs and things like that.
For me, I always, whenever I think of this film, I always think of it as just the chemistry that Trey Parker and Matt Stone have with each other. Those two have such good chemistry, it's not funny.
Oh, they really do. They've got their own little sort of quirks as well. I really love it. Cracks me up every time. It's probably not as funny as what I think it is, but every time something like pisses Coop off, he's like, oh. Just every fucking time. It just
It's that or
cracks me up.
Because he does that a few times too. He's like...
Like when he goes to Calcutta and he goes to get in the taxi and the guy takes out the goat and he's like, oh, and then he gets in and there's another goat. He's like, oh. Then he gets to the factory and he walks in the whole time. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Here's another bit of trivia for you, Braden. This movie's originally based on a real-life game that David Zucker, the director, created with his friends playing in the driveway of his game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone agreed to do the film because they assumed that it would be finished by the time South Park began, or conversely, that South Park would have been cancelled by that point, because they didn't actually believe their show would go as long as it has.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't, so they were committed to doing both projects. So during the day they were making South Park, and at night they were doing this.
Wow. Full on.
So literally for 3 months they were doing 24-hour days.
Yeah, it would have been full on. But yeah, sort of like what you were saying about their the chemistry that the two of them had. They really did. You can tell that those guys have been, friends for so long. And then even for... Because what year did this come out in? It was early 90s, wasn't it?
98.
98, late 90s. Okay. But, it doesn't really seem like that long ago. But even those times where, I don't know, I guess gay people weren't so prominent because people were hiding it and stuff. But they're just like, yeah, we'll make out on camera. Who fucking cares? A couple of dudes make out. Whatever. They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, and yeah, I don't know, it just sort of goes to show that, I don't know, they because they've known each other for so long and they've worked on so much stuff together, that chemistry is real. It's not just acting.
Absolutely. Braden, here's one for you. You were saying about words or expressions that you remember from this film and you use every day.
Mm.
This film gave birth to an internet meme, an internet phenomenon. This film gave us the word derp.
Did it? When did they say derp in this movie?
It's one of Matt's style. Rima says it at some point in this film. He says derp.
That's cool. Yeah,
So,
I use
first
derp
time
all
ever.
the time. My kids say derp.
Here's one for you, talking about alternate casting. Chris Farley was originally in talks playing Joe Cooper.
Chris Farley. I'm not familiar who he is. Who's Chris Farley?
Chris Farley was Beverly Hills Ninja, Tommy Boy. Big guy, used to do a lot of shit with David Spade.
Yep. Holy shit.
So I imagine this probably would have been a David Spade, Chris Farley film. had he not turned it down and given it to Trey and Matt.
That would have been a little bit weird.
Yeah, I don't think I would have enjoyed that as much. Not going to lie.
Nah. It probably would have fit in terms of the sort of average Joe kind of people a little bit more, being able to play the sport, but that's probably it.
I don't know about you. The only thing that throws me off about this, and I know it's because they didn't think South Park was going to be a big deal, but Trey Parker uses so many South Park voices in this. His fat joke is just Cartman. He uses Mr. Garrison when he's like, I forgot how much Reamer cares about the kids.
The kids, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This film is just it's so clever because you can watch it. I feel like it's like The Naked Gun where you watch it 100 times, but the gags always land because they're just like they're exquisitely crafted.
Oh yeah, they are, and like the gags are good, and the script is really good too.
Yep.
Like the idea of a new sport and the rules around it, and the fact that they turn it into something that's completely ridiculous as well. Then they've got their goal in it of having to win the Denslow Cup to be able to keep the team. But there's a bigger consequence if they don't, because the person who will get the team will work to change the whole game, and the reason they made it would be, lost.
Yep.
So there's some actual consequences to sort of be careful of in the script as well. So. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Agreed. I've just realised too that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in both this and Airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the co-pilot. Roger.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. Roger.
What?
What?
Apparently the first scene Yasmin Bleeth shot in this film is the scene with the gigantic fake dicks.
Oh, really? What a place to start.
Yeah, so this film has, I think it's had quite an impact on the world because, in my opinion, as much as South Park had quite a cult following in its first year, I think this is the movie that really showed people that Trey Parker and Matt Stone are two hilarious comedians worth paying attention to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But I don't understand, because this did not do well with the critics at all.
No, it got panned by the critics.
Big time.
Which,
but
like you know how in Space Jam, you were talking about how I'm the only person that hates Space Jam.
No, you were the only person who's never seen Space Jam.
No, and then after that, I was the only person that didn't like it, according to you. You've met more people who don't like Star Wars than don't like Space Jam.
Yep.
Trust me, I know my product. I've never met anybody who didn't like basketball.
Nah, can't say that I have either.
So yeah, I think it whether it's just a case of it's a film that was slightly ahead of its time, because this film now is even funnier with all the bullshit that happens in sports today.
Oh yeah, it makes it like it's relatable, yeah, because of that. Like it's real, so.
And I think it's what I like about it is that it's like you talked about. Reema's so stupid that even when he gets money and shit, he still feels like an everyman, and Joe Cooper just feels like just a dude, just a general dude. Dude. And so I think that helps add to a lot of the element on it where everybody can sit in and feel like they can stand into that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Because they don't ever really... Like even Reema, I should say, when you think about how much he sells out, he never really sells out. He just kind of like gets swept up in something because he's dumb.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, yeah. So like he sort of said, it all just went to his head. I mean, I don't really know how much money he was making, or how even he was fucking making money out of it, and was getting like a movie deal and shit when all the proceeds were supposed to be going to charity. But hey, whatever. But like, aside from the fact that he had the movie deal and that, what did he have that cost a lot of money? Like he had some lights on his shirt, and he had an armchair on the bench, and he had an extra. I suppose that might have cost him a little bit.
I did like the fact the extra had like identical hair as well.
Yeah,
that was the best part. I also like the gag that there are like 8 guys on this team, but only 3 people ever play. And even the commentators make a point of that at one point. They're like, And for those of you playing at home, that's the same 3 guys who were at the bat last time.
It even has up on the boards, it has like the names of the team, and it just has the 3 of them, and that's
Yeah,
it. It doesn't have the rest.
I love the... Like I say, I love the 2 commentators in this. They are fucking incredible with some of the shit they say. Like, you're excited, feel these nipples. But I think my favorite commentator moment of all time is, and I'll cut to it here, but the part where I can't remember what Bob Costas says, but then Al turns around and he's like, and it's hard to believe that just 5 years ago, those girls were in grade school.
Yeah, he was like, oh, it's hard to believe that 5 years this game was only played on driveways.
I love that gag. I love that gag so much. And I love the cheerleaders that are just like, so if I get more and more over the top as the fucking thing goes along.
Oh, some of them are bloody ridiculous.
Even
and there was
some
like
of the teams
there was
are
like the redneck ones, and
there's the full leather clad ones. There's the fairies who have the all male cheerleader team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the gay boys.
I love Vagina. No, it's an Australian joke. I love the other teams as well and how like ridiculous they are. Like the 2 the team of the 3 Italian guys, and their psychic is, hey, Coop, your mother can't cook well. And the buddy is next to him, just like, ho, 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 ho.
I know, it's great. And I like the one where there was the big dude where Squeak had to psych him out, and he's like, here, write this, and he writes it on his hand.
And he's like, I love how his warm-ups are like pumping high and then like lifting one of the cheerleaders and like bending a crowbar over his head.
What does he say? He says something about his mum.
No, the joke is this. The joke is, hey, okay, I'll use it on you, Braden. Hey, Braden. He said, I can't remember how the joke starts, but it's something about your mum.
Yeah.
And then maybe I saw your mum last night. My mum's dead. That's why she didn't move around so much.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And then he goes to kill him.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking pissed. And they're all like cheering and carrying on. And he's just in the background getting like... They've tied him up to like the garage door.
And they're throwing him as well, where they're just lobbing him between them.
Jesus
I love
Christ.
too how like they try to cut like afterwards. They're like, no, it'll be fine. It's all a game. He understands it's just a joke. So yeah, this film overall to me, it still feels fresh. Like I say, it doesn't feel like it was made back in 1998.
No, it definitely feels fresh. I think it's like a timeless. I don't know. I guess it's like a timeless kind of thing because it's always going to be relatable. The jokes are still funny.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get old, to be honest.
No, unless sports change altogether, I don't think so either.
Yeah, unless it becomes like a norm where people aren't actually allowed to swap teams and sell out and all that sort of shit.
Which is never going to happen because like businesses like making money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about like that's the one theme that is so true in this movie is it's all just about money and bullshit instead of being about the sport itself.
Yep.
So yeah, Braden, I guess my big question to you now is what was the worst part of the film?
The worst part.
Or worst actor or whatever.
I don't know about worst actor. I'd probably say worst character might have been... and it's not even because he was a shit character, it's just because he's an asshole. It was just Baxter. But he needed to be there, and he played it well, and he was still funny.
Yeah, I will admit, I really sat down and tried to work out, okay, who can I hate in this? Because I got to hate somebody. I can't.
It's hard.
This film is so well made that every character is great. Like, to me, probably the only character that I could do without is Yvette's character because aside from the thread of, you know, if Coop doesn't win the Denslow, she gets it. She's just of no use in the film, really.
Yeah. Unless she sort of, I don't know, made a bit more of a hoo-ha about the whole thing and actually contributed to the plot.
Yeah, that's just it. But what can you do?
Yeah, it was still pretty good.
Who are you giving your best to?
I think I've got to say little bitch, Squeak, Scolari. I just enjoyed his character. He just, you know, if he gets ragged on 13 or 14 more times...
He's out of here.
He's out of here. I don't know. He just every time he comes in, it's just hilarious, and he appears out of nowhere sometimes. Like when Coop's like, you know what? You're not my best friend anymore, and then Reem's like, get moving, pulls him out of the fucking drawer. He's asleep.
Get up, you're my best friend now.
We going to the zoo?
I like too that like theoretically like Reem has just walked out with a robe open and nothing else on in that scene as well.
Yeah,
he just wanders out, dick trailing.
And he's just so fucking tiny too. Like any one of them can just pick him up under one arm. Like Coop actually does in one
Coop
scene.
lifts
He's
him
down
out,
on the ground. He just picks him up under one arm and just walks off.
I have two for this one. I really do. I think Trey Parker proves in this that he's a leading man. He is so good in this film. But to me, the MVP, who, like I say, I lose my mind every time he comes on screen, is Robert Stack, doing his entire Unsolved Mystery shtick, but just like
the best.
so off the wall.
That was probably my favorite part of the movie.
So yeah, I have to give it to Robert Stack. He was amazing in Airplane, and he was amazing in this.
It was brilliant. Really was.
So, watch, not watch?
Fucking watch it.
Yeah, I gotta say watch it.
Yeah, like, dude.
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 You got a point there. They should watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
What do you give it out of 5?
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going 4 out of 5 as well. I still think this is a great movie.
Yeah,
I really do. So yeah, so Braden, what do you reckon? Should we announce what we're going to be looking at come next week?
Yeah, let them know. Give them some insight.
All right. Well, I thought long and hard about this one. And I thought we've done a lot of sports films. We've done a lot of comedies. We're heading into doing some heavy-duty shit at episode 15 with the Human Centipede. So I thought we need to give ourselves something that combines all the genres into one, where we can really, really sink our teeth into something good. So Braden, are you ready for what we're going to be watching next week?
What's that?
It's Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash. Haven't heard of that one.
Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell, Tango and Cash.
All right. Is that an 80s movie?
Oh, you know it's an 80s movie, son. I don't know whether it'll be the best 80s movie. I mean, we did watch Roadhouse.
Yeah, I don't know if we can beat Roadhouse.
But Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell does have his mullet in it, so just saying. It's pretty good. Terry Hatcher also appears, Braden. You know how I feel about Terry Hatcher. This is prime Terry Hatcher as well.
This is 80s Terry Hatcher.
This is 80s Terry Hatcher.
Is 80s Terry Hatcher better than 90s Terry Hatcher?
We'll have to wait till next week to see, won't we? But until then, I say we head on out of here, Braden. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? I've been Adam.
And I have been Braden.
And we'll see you, as we say, next week for Tango and Cash. I like the use of music in this film too, Braden. I think they do a really fantastic job of blending together, like, the Real Big Fish live performances with the crowd chants, with obviously, like, this song under the part where Reema and Coop are both trying to fucking win over, whatever her name is, Yasmin Bleeth's character, Jenna.
Jenna, yeah.
You're right. The Reema's attempts to pick up Jenna throughout this film are so fucking ridiculous. From the pretzel that he just baked himself to the fresh poppy seed muffins,
and to when they're in the front lawn picking up all the leaves.
Yep.
And they're fighting over whose bag she should put the leaves in.
Coop spear tackles him. I love that part.
I love just his face, the way he looks while she's putting the leaves in his bag.
The smile.
The fucking goofy ass look. So funny.
I love too that she brings in this, like, they're just basically making Joey do manual labor, and they bring him in the sandwiches and they're all just covered in grease and shit. And then they throw them away because they're clearly shitty.
Yeah.
So good. There is some ridiculous shit in this movie.
There is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, what else? What else can we say about this one, really? It's very clear from this film why South Park works, because those two just get how to bounce off each other in such a unique way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I honestly think Trey Parker and Matt Stone may be the best comedy duo since 1997 to now. they're the best comedy duo we have.
Yeah, I can't say I can think of anybody else.
Like, they're up there with Abbott and Costello in terms of the impact, in my opinion, they've had on comedy. I mean, you've got South Park, you've got Team America, you've got Baseketball, you've got Cannibal, you've got Orgasmo. You now got The Book of Mormon.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not a movie yet, it's a stage play at this point, but it's the first...
yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's the one that they won, like, all the Tonys and shit for, and...
There was some controversy around it too, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone. There's always controversy around it.
To be expected, yeah.
But yeah, it's basically, if you've seen the South Park episode where they talk about Mormonism with the dum-da-dum-dum-dum song, it's basically an expanded plot of that where it's about a guy who becomes a Mormon and gets sent off on his first mission, and how life isn't exactly what you think it's going to be. But yeah, it's I mean, it's, as I say, it's a Trey Parker, Matt Stone collaboration, so of course it's got controversy behind it.
Nice.
Yeah, but Braden, I'm glad you and I are friends.
Yeah, I always did ask myself, why can't we be friends? And then we were, so then that sort of answered that question.
That's true.
And I was like, dude.
And then we made out on the Kamehameha board.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was in a volcano, but, you know, whatever. It was pretty hot. Do you hate dumb shit? Well, me too. Join me over at BAM TV, where I make fun of all sorts of stuff, with my segments of bad news and cringy capers, plus other skits and shenanigans. Head over to facebook.com/BAMTEEVEE for more info and all the links to the videos.
This has been a Cabana production.